So over the weekend, guys, there was a lot of talk about this new open world Donkey Kong game. Now, there's been a lot of rumors going around for the last couple of years about this game. It was in development, and then it wasn't in development, and now it's in development again. There's been a lot of stuff going on about this, and a lot of leaks about it here and there over the last couple of years. But over the weekend, a fellow YouTuber by the name of Nintendo Prime claims that he has seen footage and photos of this game running, and that's 100% coming out for the Nintendo Switch. So what I know about Nintendo Prime is that he has misfired on a lot of different information over the years on his channel. And there's some things that he wasn't honest about, there's some things that he just got wrong, whatever, and there's some things that he was right about. So take everything that he says with a grain of salt. But in this podcast, he is literally claiming that he has seen it with his own eyes. Okay, guys, that he has seen it with his own eyes. Now, I'm not saying he's not a Nintendo insider, because I don't know that for sure, but his claim is pretty far-fetched, and you will see it literally get debunked in his podcast. So what we're going to do in this video, guys, is we're going to watch this segment of the podcast, and I'm just going to talk over some of the footage that you see, because I want to make some points and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Let's get into the podcast.
Maybe
now.
one of the topics, the actual Donkey Kong. So this is a really neat topic because what we have information on today is actually predates all of the rumors that we've had. For those who don't know, we started having rumors back in 2021 about a new Donkey Kong game coming to Switch, being made by members of the Mario Odyssey team.
Okay, so I'm just going to say right now, there has been a lot of leaks and rumors about a new Donkey Kong game coming out, okay?
Anyways, they didn't know if it was 3D or 2D, and we basically heard nothing about it since. Granted, we weren't given any release timing or anything for it. It was like, we were aware this thing exists, and that's about it. Okay, cool. Well, information has now come out, and I can't really explain how the information came out. What I can say is I have seen the evidence for myself. There are videos, there are images. This is like, it's real. And people who know, but everyone's afraid.
Okay, so right here, guys, throws up a red flag that he is very, one of very few people, besides the people who created the game, to get exclusive look at this footage and screenshots.
Working on this.
Really? Okay, here we go.
So Nintendo and Vicarious Visions were teamed up.
Didn't their studio close?
Yeah, they got rebranded. In 2022, the end of 2020, I can't remember exactly. They got rebranded to something else. Anyways, so they were the ones working on this 3D open world Donkey Kong game that we're aware of. They did get transferred back to the internal EPD team due to Vicarious Visions being moved onto another project at the time. There's like two different projects, basically something that the company actually controlled the IP of, their parent company. And
then what he's doing here is he's adding fluff onto information that's already been out there. Okay, there's this rumor that Vicarious Visions was working on the game and it got moved to another department, or some other group within Nintendo or work for Nintendo to make the game. Okay, and he's adding in his own fluff as well.
Into their own team, and then they refilled the Mario team with more veteran programmers for whatever they're doing now. So basically, the next Mario wouldn't have been slowed down by this. Is basically the idea, because they made a new team that just hasn't released a game yet, and that's why nobody knows, like, EPD 8.5 or EPD 11 or whatever.
EPD 13.
Yeah, whatever they want to call it. But they just haven't released a game yet, so there's now public recognition of their existence at this time. Because the game.
So the information that he's regurgitating is out by a leaker by the name of Zippo. Now, from what I know, because I've reported on Zippo before, is that literally take everything he says with a grain of salt, because a lot of things he or she had been very wrong on.
It was an open world 3D Donkey Kong game. The name, we even have the name. It was called Donkey Kong Freedom. Was the name of the game. Whether that would have
so interesting, right? Nintendo Prime knows the name of the game, huh? I haven't heard Nate the Hate talk about it, or Jeff Grubb, or Emily Rogers talk about the name of this game. Keep listening, guys, because it gets really interesting here really soon.
When they showed it to Miyamoto, he just said it's a cool idea, but I don't think he could do it with bare feet. So then they went back.
Already been done. Tarzan, PS1.
Yeah. By the way, they also did it with Crash Bandicoot. He did it in Crash 4. Yeah. Technically had shoes, yeah. So Miyamoto said, this is a cool idea, but I just don't think he could do it in bare feet, which is weird because Tarzan could, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. So then they said, fine, we got an idea. And so then they sent him footage they sent Miyamoto footage of Donkey Kong wearing bananas on his feet.
Okay, so now he's talking
he
about a
said
bunch of
yes.
gameplay
Because of course
features
Miyamoto
that
would say yes.
Donkey Kong would be
Sliding
wearing
with
bananas on his feet,
All right,
and
so that
you
was
know,
it.
Miyamoto was totally on board with that. And that's such
And
a
I can't say there was a
fantastic
piece of
idea,
the
wearing
banana peel
bananas
sliding
on
in
his
the
feet
footage,
to
so I'll
like
just leave it at that.
rail
I can't go into
slide
details
across the
because
vine or something.
Unfortunately,
That to me
all of the images
seems
of the
silly in
footage
itself,
have
but saying, you
identifying
know,
information.
him knowing this,
So, like,
that
the chances
they
of you guys ever
approved
seeing
that,
it
that
come
he
up publicly
approved
is
that was
gonna
a
be next to
great
nothing
idea.
because
They came
nobody
up with the
wants
most
people to actually get
grand idea. Like this to me is some more fluff.
Anyways,
this is more fluff
let's
that
see,
he's
Miyamoto
talking
was
about
involved with it
this
and helping
game.
with some of
Just
the design
keep listening,
aspects,
though,
and
guys.
he
It gets really good.
absolutely loved everything happening with it. He was just totally amazed at what they were doing with this open world game. Obviously, no one has any idea right now because once they went to Nintendo, things really locked up. If they kept all the assets and kept building on top of it, or if they rebooted it. A lot of people think, though, that based on the people being talked to, that they probably kept it going because Miyamoto loved it so much. Why would Nintendo abandon an idea that Miyamoto himself thought was the greatest thing he's ever seen Donkey Kong do? So chances are, and by the way, this would mean that if they've been working on it since 2017, 2018 Eternal at Nintendo, that's the same development time as Tears of the Kingdom. So why would you be developing something that long if it's just another side scroller? So there's that as well. And no, it has not been canned. It is absolutely still a thing that's coming.
Wow, he's got a
right now,
lot
the
of
thought
new
process is
details
it's gonna
that
launch with the next
I don't think
Ultimate
any of us
Nintendo
have heard
launch game.
before. That's crazy.
And it
And he's also confirmed 100% that
years.
it's coming out.
They have
So what's the
DK
release
stuff
date,
opening
Nate?
theme
What's the
parks,
release date, Nintendo
opening
Prime?
DK
Do
movie.
you have any idea what the
It's
release
time
date
for
is? I'd
DK
like
to
to
make
hear.
a comeback. And apparently, back when this was all being originally built by Vicarious Visions, Nintendo, Miyamoto, when he was talking to them and the pitches were happening and all the development was going on, there was conversations had where Miyamoto basically said Nintendo.
Now, sorry about all the fluff, guys, but take a look at this. Look at Mike Odyssey down in the middle at the bottom there. Look what he look at his face. He's like, I don't believe any of this. And just listen to this, what he has to say, because this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a trailer for some game called Donkey Kong Freedom. It looks like it's fully open world, and it shows Donkey Kong sliding on like Tarzan, like on like those things, but with bananas on his feet.
So there it is, guys. Right there. You
solid.
just saw it for
serious.
yourself.
I'm serious.
Mike
I know
Odyssey
you're serious. I know which one
just
you're talking about.
debunked his claim about
I mean,
the name of this
it's
game,
fine.
right?
you're
So
not talking
to me,
about the-
Nate over at
what's
Nintendo
the
Prime
racing
does not
Donkey Kong
hold
game?
any weight
No.
on this
No,
information
it's
he has
actually,
about the
looks like
Donkey
it's an
Kong
open world game. I'll put it in
open
chat.
world game. And as you can see here, he looks nervous. He looks embarrassed. He's fidgety.
Just to
He's
clarify, the
literally
footage I
coming
saw
up with a
was very
story right now on the spot to cover his butt.
Not real.
I mean, that's real right
It-
there.
You know what I mean?
It just looks like it's a concept game instead of a.
Yeah. So the Freedom name's been out there for a while.
This looks like this was made in that
Yeah.
PlayStation video game maker thing.
Yeah. So there's a funny story behind that apparently, and so I can't reveal who the source.
To me,
is.
he's literally coming up with an excuse and almost a
let's just say
lie
that it's people that worked on the game
right
That's
now.
all I can really
Check this
say.
out.
It's funny because they're aware of that and they thought it was ironic because what happened is one of the developers went home and was talking to their family about this Freedom game, and then their kids told their friends, and their friends tried to make it in.
Dream.
Yeah. So like there's this thing of that, oh, this is totally made. I was like, no, it just kind of sort of was a leak, but not really because the kid didn't really know anything but a name. Anyways, so it's kind of funny that that's the way that went.
Okay, so here we go. This is why I made this video, guys, is because, look, I've been a Nintendo fan for a long time. I know a lot of Nintendo fans get really hyped about new games, new consoles coming out, and he knows that. He knows that, and he played right into your emotions, into your hype, and all that. And he knew it, and he got caught red-handed right on his podcast, and he's trying to come up with an excuse as to why this right here, this is Donkey Kong Freedom, exists. Like right on the spot, he comes up with an excuse of why this game right here, this fan-made game exists. Okay, and now there's this excuse of, well, this kid made the game in the PlayStation app or on his PC because he heard the name of the 3D open world Donkey Kong game that Nintendo's working on, and no, it just sounds just like a total lie. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention is because Nintendo Prime is literally getting a lot of attention for himself, a lot of positive attention, claiming that he's a Nintendo insider. Okay, comicbook.com called him a Nintendo insider. I think Robo Gaming, I think the name of his channel, I saw his video, heard his video today, and he called him a Nintendo insider. And no, I just don't believe it. If Nate, if you're a Nintendo insider, man, you kind of dropped the ball right there with the Donkey Kong information. You kind of did, because you threw out the name of this game, which you knew clear well that this is a fan-made game. You threw that name out there, and that's where you screwed up, bro. You got caught in a lie. And, you know, it's not cool to do to your fans and to your viewers who donate money to you, who watch your videos. I know you make money on YouTube. I know that you do, because I make a little bit of money on YouTube. And I know that you probably make way more money than I do on YouTube. So, you know, I know you're bringing in an income, and that's not cool to do to people, dude. It's not cool to do to Nintendo fans that are excited for maybe a 3D open world Donkey Kong game. I know I'm excited for that. If Nintendo is working on that, that would be great. But, you know, you claiming that you literally saw the footage and saw photos of it, and then get caught in your lie once you say the name, Mike Odyssey, hats off to you, Mike, by the way. Thank you for doing that, because I wouldn't have anything to talk about. You know, debunked you right there on your podcast. And that to me is something else. It's something else, guys. So I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments. I'm sure Nate over at Nintendo Prime is not going to like this video very much, but you know, Nate, if you got a conscience, if you feel like there is karma out in this world, I would, you know, exercise the fact of maybe apologizing to your viewers and saying that you were wrong. Because, you know, lying like this and then getting caught, you know, you didn't even remove the podcast. What? And, you know, you got caught lying, and you could tell you're kind of making up an excuse. Like, lying to your viewers like this is not cool. And eventually it's going to catch up to you, man. It's going to catch up to you. And, you know, look, I've seen your content. I've been watching you for years. I unsubscribed because some of the things that you said in the past were not honest. And I actually made a follow-up video on one of your videos. And one of my fellow friends that is also a YouTuber said, dude, you should pull that down because Nate is not honest. He's not honest, and he wasn't honest about that. And I was embarrassed, and I pulled my video down. And that was when I was a really small channel, and I'm still a small channel. But, you know, I just had to bring this up because I think it's ridiculous to play into Nintendo fans like this, you know? Nintendo fans get hyped. You know we get excited about silly things or new games or new consoles that are coming out, and maybe just every little detail that we can find, we just get super excited for. And you know that, and you're playing us like you know that. And that's not cool, man. That is not cool. I don't believe that you actually saw the footage and the video, and I don't understand why you're getting all this positive media attention. It doesn't make any sense. And I hope that comicbook.com watches my video, and I hope IGN watches it, and I hope Game Explain watches this, and Zach over at Switchforce. Thank you, by the way, Zach, for calling him out, because I'm glad you did it first, and then I could talk about it as well. But thank you for doing that. And RGT85 said that you had inside information. Dude, I don't know. After seeing this and you getting caught red-handed on your podcast, makes me think that you really don't know inside information. And one other thing, let me just make a point here. How come Nate the Hate, Jeff Grubb, and Emily Rogers, these are guys that are actual Nintendo insiders, you know, that leak information, and don't get me wrong, they're not right all the time, but they're right a lot of the time, okay? They're right a lot of the time, and I do believe some of the things that they say. How come they're not talking about this Donkey Kong Freedom game? What? That doesn't make any sense, bro. And, you know, like I said, I've liked some of your content, and, you know, some of your content is a little, you know, iffy, to say the least, but I had to do it, man. I had to call you out, and I'm sorry. I have no, you know, harsh feelings against you at all, but I think you should apologize to your viewers. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. I'm going to get off my soapbox. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Probably won't do another video like this because I don't like making these kinds of videos. I don't like, you know, talking trash about other people, but I had to call this one out. I had to. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.